Good morning, everyone, and thank you again for joining our Give Miami Day website training for nonprofits for Give Miami Day 2018. We are very glad to have you all on board. Excited for this year. We already have a record-breaking number of nonprofits participating, and so we are so excited to see what Give Miami Day will do for the community this year, and we hope you are too. To begin, I do just want to introduce myself. My name is Roshni Nesledge, and I'm Communications Associate here at the Miami Foundation. I'm helping lead the charge for our team's Give Miami Day efforts. I'm joined on our side by Jalicia St. Louis, she's Programs Assistant here at the Foundation, and Alex Rosales, who's Senior Programs Assistant here at the Foundation. Alex is your main point of contact, so I'm sure all of you are familiar with him. But together, we're going to help field some questions towards the end of this presentation. The bulk of this presentation will actually be led by Alyssa Ravenel. She is with the Give Gab team. So for those of you who may already know this, Kimbia is a platform that you are all using to log on to givemiamiday.org, to manage your profiles, to make updates, and to get your donation reports. Kimbia, the company, was acquired by another company called Give Gab, who we're very happy to be working with this year. And so Give Gab is helping us oversee Give Miami Day this year, and we're glad to have them on board. Before I hand the reins off to Alyssa, though, I do just want to go through a couple of housekeeping items. Alyssa, do you mind advancing to the next slide? So just quickly, we're just going to go through the agenda for today. So first, Alyssa's going to talk through the live event, how you can log on to the Kimbia platform, the profile links, all of the links that you've received from Alex, the day of website we like to expect, and then we'll go through some Q&A. I do just want to note that you have the opportunity throughout the entire presentation to ask questions. So on the right-hand portion of your screen with the GoToWebinar widget that you downloaded, there's a portion for you to ask questions. Feel free to drop them in there. Alex, Jalicia, and I, again, are going to be fielding questions throughout the presentation. We'll do our best to respond to all of them directly, but for the ones that we think the audience could benefit from the most, we'll make sure to drop those in so that everybody can hear the question asked and hear an answer from one of our team members. So that's it for this slide. And Alyssa, I think we'll hand the reins off to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roshni. Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Ravenel. I'm a project manager with Give Gab, working on Give Miami Day with Roshni, Alex, and Jalicia, and of course, all of you. So as Roshni said, I'll be going through all of the technical pieces you'll need to know for Give Miami Day on November 15th. So first, the live event begins at 12 a.m. on November 15th and ends at 11:59 on November 15th. So again, a full 24-hour period that begins on November 15th. I'm going to show you the leaderboards a little bit later on, but leaderboards, you'll notice, will update in 5 to 10 minute intervals. You might see some lag between your leaderboards and things that are showing up on your profile, and that's totally okay because, again, leaderboards update every 5 to 10 minutes. We have leaderboards available for small, medium, and large organizations based off of your annual budget size question that you answered. We have category-based leaderboards, again, based off of that question you answered in your Nonprofit Central profile. And also a leaderboard that lists out all of the prize winners. Again, I'll show you this all on the main website when we get to that point. So the most important thing you want to do now is log into Kimbia Giving Day. And this is so you know where to find your links, where to find your profile, how to add private matching funds, all that good stuff. So the URL you will use is givingday.kimbia.com. And your login is the Nonprofit Central login that you used before. So it's whatever email you listed as your primary contact over there. So when we moved everything over to Give Miami Day, all the information was copied over. If you forgot your password, you'll want to click on that Forgot Your Password link right down here. They'll send you an email with instructions on how to get your password reset. So once you log in, you'll access your Give Miami Day profile registration. And again, you should land directly on your Give Miami Day profile editor. You'll know it's the right one when it's kind of a big blank space up top here. If you don't see a big blank space, You want to use the toggle on the right-hand side over here. You can see I've already clicked on it, but I have two options. Here I have three because I have a test account in there, but I have two main options: the Miami Nonprofit Central, Logan's Pups, and then the Miami Foundation Give Miami Day. Make sure you are working in Give Miami Day to update your profile, to use those links, and for any of your private matching funds. You can still edit your profile for Give Miami Day through midnight tonight. So if you want to make any changes to your mission statement, change out any photo you may have added, make sure you do that by midnight tonight, as no more changes will be made going forward. And instead, you will see a blue box that says that registration and editing has closed. So make sure, again, you are editing everything you need to edit for by midnight tonight. So your Give Miami Day profile should reflect everything that was in your Nonprofit Central profile. And any changes you may make on your Give Miami Day profile are not reflected on your Nonprofit Central profile. Just remember that. Make sure that any changes you make on your Give Miami Day profile, if you also want those changes on Nonprofit Central, you do need to toggle back and forth between Give Miami Day and Nonprofit Central. But again, make sure you are working in Give Miami Day for the November 15th event. So after midnight tonight, so starting tomorrow, you'll also have the option to add in private matching funds. So you can see over here we have registration, links, and private matching funds, and also that logout button. If anyone is offering you private matching funds, so maybe a large donor, a business, anything like that, this is where you can enter that information. And you can make changes to this page up until event day. So you can make it right up until November 14th. It's really important that if you do have any private matching funds, that you do add these in there so that the Miami Foundation and Give Miami Day have a full, complete view of how much money is actually being raised in the community. Yes, Give Miami Day will automatically reflect any donations you receive online, but if you do have that extra $1,000 or $5,000 in matching funds, we want to show the complete picture of how generous the Miami community is. Also, by adding in private matching funds, you'll be able to show and track on your profile exactly how close you are to reaching that match and unlocking those funds for your organization. So during the registration process, if you answered the yes, I have private matching funds question and filled in an amount, it'll actually show right here. I'm actually going to jump over to the live giving site so I can show you what that looks like. So I'm going to come down here to matching funds. So you can see here that I did have matching funds available, so that's defaulted to yes. And I had originally $1,000 added in. So when I again filled out my Nonprofit Central profile, I had $1,000 that I was putting in for Give Miami Day. Now, after my Give Miami Day profile was created, I had another very generous donor come in and say, I have another $1,500 I want to match. I'm going to add that amount right in here. So again, this is your initial amount that was brought over from Nonprofit Central. This is any additional you received after that, for a total of $2,500 in adjusted matching funds available. So in between now and event day, if you do receive additional dollars, so let's say this was blank in here, so I had $0, but then a donor came in and they're going to give me $500. I'll just put $500 in there and it'll automatically adjust right down there. It'll show up on your profile page, it'll show up, and it's just a really great way to motivate donors to donate to your organization. When you click Save, it will begin to display on your profile within 10 minutes. Something that I didn't mention before, but I'm going to mention that now. When you did make changes to your Give Miami Day profile, you did actually have to wait for the Miami team to publish your full page to see those changes reflected. That does not affect matching funds. Whenever you click that Save button, I'll click that now, it'll begin to display on your profile within 10 minutes. Again, the Miami team does not need to publish your profile for that to come through. Again, it'll track down against this, any donations you receive for your organization will track down against that $1,500 that you have, so donors can see how much of your match you have met. And again, I want to stress, this is something you manage completely separate from the Miami Foundation. They don't need to verify that you have this $1,000. You don't need to send the $1,000 to them via a check or a credit card. It's something you're doing completely independently on your own as a marketing tool to get your donors really excited and engaged they'll give to you on Give Miami Day. All right, I'm going to jump back into the presentation again. So the other piece of your profile that you'll notice are these 3 links here. Again, under that registration, you're going to see matching funds and then links. This is a very important tab because this is where you're going to find the link to share out to your donors. You're going to download your donation report and even embed that donation form on your website. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the nonprofit link or the profile page link. This link right up top here is the page that exists on Give Miami Day, where donors can go directly to your page and give directly to your organization on event day. Starting November 15th, a donation form will appear on that page, but it doesn't currently appear right now because, again, we're only collecting donations on November 15th. However, you do have access to this link right now through whether you log in or if you were just to go to givemiamiday.org and search for your organization, whatever link appears in the URL is the link that you can use to share out. It's super important to start using that specific direct link to your organization page now. The nonprofits that we see across the country that are most successful are those nonprofits that begin using this link as soon as possible in all of their communications. You want to use this link in your Facebook posts, any of your tweets, any newsletters you send out, any direct actual emails to donors and supporters that you send out. And one of the easiest ways is also just adding a little link to your email signature talking about Give Miami Day. Super easy and will get sent out to all of those people that you send emails regularly to. Again, this profile page is populated with information that came directly from Nonprofit Central. So your mission statement, your contact information, your link back to Nonprofit Central all exists on your Give Miami Day profile. But again, it's separate from your Nonprofit Central profile. Yes, it links over to that, and it has a lot of the same information, but it's different. The Give Miami Day profile and the event takes place entirely on givemiamiday.org. Do not send out your Nonprofit Central links. Make sure you are always double checking every link that you send out to make sure you are sending the givemiamiday.org link. It should be formatted just like this: givemiamiday.org/NPO/your organization name with those hyphens or dashes in the middle of it. Nonprofit Central profiles will not be accepting donations on November 15th. The purpose of those profiles is really to provide a more robust picture for your organization and for donors, but really people and donors should be donating directly through givemiamiday.org. All right. I'm going to jump next into the donations report link. So this is that second link available to you. And actually, I'll pull that up over here so you can see. Oops. To go back into my Give Miami Day profile, go back to links. Again, donations report right here. When you click that link, an Excel file will be downloaded with all of your donor information. Now, this donation report does update in real time. So every time you click download or you click on that link to download that Excel file, brand new donor information will appear there. Again, you do have to re-download that report every time you want new donor information. If I just open it up on my desktop, it won't have new donor information populated. I do need to re-download that report. This link right here, you can share out to anyone that you'd like to have this information. Be very, very careful though who you send this out to. You want to make sure it only goes to people that are allowed to see your donor information. So most likely only people within your organization or on your board. You don't want to send this out to donors or to another organization or really anyone else unless they're allowed to have eyes on your donor information. But what makes it nice is that you really could just take this link and say send it to your finance person because they want to take a look at the donations coming in that they should be expecting. You can just send them that link and they can download it whenever they'd like. All right, so I'm actually going to jump into a sample report so you can see exactly what it's going to look like when you download it. So like I said, when you download that, when you click on that link, it'll download an Excel document. And I actually recommend that you download this report today. You do have access to this report today. just to make sure you know that it's working. And 2, so you know where it downloads, so that on the day of you're not searching through your computer to find this downloaded report. So I'm going to jump over here to this Google Sheet. Again, I use Google Sheets because I don't have Excel on my computer, but again, if you download that report, it'll come right in an Excel file that you can then open up in Excel or Numbers or any other spreadsheet processing program you might have. So if you download your report today, it actually will just be a blank report. All this, it will just kind of look like that. There won't be anything there. And that's okay. And that's the way it's supposed to work. There will be no headers and no information until something has populated in there. So you won't see anything populate until November 15th. But as soon as you receive your first gift, you'll start seeing headers populate and everything. So again, download it early just so you know exactly where it ends up, maybe a downloads folder or your desktop. And make sure it says your organization's name up top to make sure that on the file so that you know it's working. So I'm going to go through each of these report columns so you know what to look for and what to expect when you're looking at your report. Some of these are pretty self-explanatory. You know, local date and local time. So those are the date and time of the donation. Column C is the form, and this will tell you where the donor gave through. So the multi-donation, that means they gave through GiveMiamiDay.org. There's just one general form on the front page or on the home page of Give Miami Day. The second form option is main donation form, and that's the form that comes through on your Give Miami Day profile. So when you share out that special link that's just for your organization, this is the form that will populate, and that's how you know how effective that was. If you have a lot of people coming into the main donation form. And the last one is the offline form. This is the donor advised fund form. And so donor advised funds that are through the Miami Foundation have the opportunity to give to your organization through Give Miami Day. They will have the opportunity to do that themselves through the Give from Your Fund option on the website, or through working with the Miami Foundation to designate funds to those to your organization. So that'll appear here if it's a fund from a donor advised fund. Column D, expand that out just a little bit, is a confirmation code. A confirmation code is a unique identifier for your donor's gifts. This is important to have handy whenever you have a donor that calls you or is having issues with their gift and they have some questions about it. If you have this confirmation code handy, it'll make it really easy to work with the Miami Foundation to troubleshoot with the donor and with the foundation on what may have happened and how you can best help this donor. Again, it's a unique identifier for that specific donation. Column E is the donation amount. So this is how much the donor gave. Column F is the refund column. So if any donor came in and they accidentally gave to your organization or gave too much, you're going to see something in this refund column. A donation will only show if it's actually a partial refund. So you can see here, this donation for $2,500 received a $500 refund. They still appear because they are still a donor to you. However, if this donor came in and they gave $25 and received a $25 refund, they actually will be completely removed from your donor record. They won't show up as someone that gave to your organization because they probably didn't intend to give to you. So again, donation amount, any partial refund that will show up, and then the donation net amount, which is the amount after refunds are processed, but before any fees are taken out. You want to use column G as your true gift amount. This is how much the donor did intend to give to you, regardless if they covered fees or not. Column H is cover the fee. If it's yes, they chose to cover the fee. If it's no, no, they didn't choose to cover the fee. Column I is if the donor chose to be anonymous or not. False is not anonymous. True is anonymous. You'll notice if a donor chooses to be anonymous, all of this contact information, columns, I believe it's J, K, and then M through T, will all show up as anonymous. You won't have their contact information. But if they choose to not be anonymous, you will. Column L, column J and K is the donor first name and last name. And then column L is the fund name. So again, if the donor gave through a donor advised fund, it'll list the fund name that they gave through. Now lot of contact information, email address, mailing address, all the way down. You can see anonymous for that anonymous donor. And then column U is a first-time donor for your online gifts. So yes, this donor was a first time for your organization, or no, they were not a first-time donor. We also have first-time donor for donor advised fund. So this fund was not a first-time donor for this organization. Column W is a new question this year, which is I'm a proud employee of. So Give Miami Day forms are actually requesting that donors are putting in from a specified list of where their organization, of where they work, where they are employed, to have a better idea of where your donors are coming from. And then columns X through AA are our in honor of or in memory of gifts. So column Y will tell you if it's in honor of or in memory of. Column Z will tell you the name that this gift is in honor or in memory of. And if there are any special comments or instructions about that specific gift that was made in honor or memory of. All right, so I'm going to jump back over to our presentation, back over here, and just have a few other things to say about the donation report. And I want to just stress the most important thing you can do right after Give Miami Day. The most important thing you can do is log back into on Give Miami Day, whether it's on the 16th or 17th. Make sure you log in and download this donations report. These reports only live for about 3 months after the event. So come January or February, these reports will no longer be accessible by your organization. So make sure you do download a final version of your donations report using the link in your profile. Again, that donations report link right here. Click it, download it, save it, and make sure you save it, because again, it's not going to be accessible after about 3 months after the event. Here's another picture of the donation report sample. Again, this is how it will look in Excel with all those column headers. Again, it's going to look very similar to the way that I did it on Google Sheets. And the last link available to you is this embed snippet. So again, I'm going to come back over to the links page, embed donation form. Use this whole snippet below to display your donation form on any blog or site. So I can just copy that whole thing, plop it on our site. So that code, it renders a styled donation form that you can place on your website, on your blog, really anywhere that it allows link embedding, like a YouTube video. And this is really great for any donor that may actually come to your website instead of Give Miami Day. They'll still be prompted to Give Miami Day. Now, this is completely optional. You do not need to add in an embedded donation form to your website. This is really great for organizations that feel comfortable editing an HTML or have someone on staff or a volunteer or a board member that feels comfortable adding in an embed code. And again, it's just like a YouTube video. So if you have a YouTube video on your website already, it's going to be a very, very similar process to that. And again, the plus to the embedded form is that if a donor happens to come to your organization's website instead of Give Miami Day, they will still see that Give Miami Day logo and that donation form that exists there. You can see it right here for a different organization's Giving Day. You can see it say Give Miami Day and that same form. They can give to your organization through your website just as easily as they could on Give Miami Day. And again, the donations flow through the exact same way as they would on GiveMiamiDay.org. They will be listed on your donation report, and if they're given in a particular time frame that is eligible for a prize, it'll count towards that. And the total that they give through here will still also be reflected on the leaderboard as well. Now, the one thing that I want to say here is do not wait until November 15th at midnight to add in this embedded form if you're going to add it to your website. You do not need to wait until November 15th at midnight to add it. You can add it now. It'll just look like this. You can add it to your website, and it'll just have the Give Miami Day logo and a little blurb about how donations will be accepted at 12 a.m. on November 15th to 12 a.m. on November 16th. So again, get with your tech person now that can edit your website, a volunteer, board member, get with them now so they can go ahead and grab an embed code, add to your website, so that you're ready for midnight to hit on November 15th. We also have some additional embed instructions for you available, just basic widget width and things like that. This will also be available to you in the nonprofit toolkit. We have some specific steps on Blogger, WordPress, or Typepad, and those will be in the nonprofit toolkit. And that's how you can paste in the snippet on those 3 websites. And those ones are really the most common that we see for a nonprofit. If you see a different website, or if you use a different website that's not a part of the nonprofit toolkit, typically there's not a lot of support that we can provide, simply because every website is really, really different, and every website is built differently. But if you still want to go through and add this embed code, that's awesome. We want you to do that. So what you want to do is just head to your website provider's FAQs or support page and search for how to embed a piece of code. If you see anything that's around how to embed a YouTube link or a Vimeo video, all those instructions you can also use for the Give Miami Day embed. It's going to work the same exact way. It's going to be the same type of embed code. And that covers my slides. And what I really want to do next is actually jump right into the live event page so you can see exactly what it's going to look like when midnight hits on November 15th. As long as that's okay with you, Roshni, if you don't want to stop for questions just yet.
Nope, that's great. We can field questions at the end.
Awesome. All right. So again, I'm going to jump right over to our live event preview. I'm going to start at the top here. I wanted to show you a couple of the really important features for Give Miami Day. So we're going to come here to givemiamiday.org. I'm going to see my URL is a little funky. That's because we're in preview mode, so we can actually get a sneak peek at November 15th at midnight. But again, if you just went to givemiamiday.org on November 15th, this is what you'll see. So the first thing I want to highlight is the multi-give form. And this is for anyone that comes directly to givemiamiday.org to donate. So I know Give Miami Day is going on. I'm not quite sure where to give to yet, or I didn't get a direct link. I want to come straight to givemiamiday.org and get this beautiful form in front of me. So the first thing that we ask the donor to do is find the organization they want to give to. So I want to give to Animal Welfare Society of South Florida. I want to give $25. I'm a first-time donor, and I want to be anonymous. But you can see, and if I click Add Gift, I can add multiple gifts. So I want to give to Animal Welfare, but I also want to give to, let's see, Legal Services of Greater Miami. So I click on that. I'm also going to give $25. You can see the minimum amount for my gift is $25, so make sure we have at least that much to each organization. And again, I have the option to be, I'm not a first-time donor to Legal Services of Greater Miami, and I don't want to be anonymous with them, but this is in memory or honor of my mom. All right, and then the other information that we have listed here is basic information, you know, first name, last name, email address. Oops. You can also see it'll kind of yell at you a little bit if you're missing a required field. Billing information for the credit card. Phone number, there's a I'm a proud employee of question. If I want to cover the fee. And then payment card information. Everything you see on this form, except for the payment details, will appear in your donation report. But again, if I chose to be anonymous, you won't receive my contact information. Something else I want to mention is you can add as many organizations as you'd like up here. We recommend no more than 10 to 12 at a time, just in case the credit card gets declined for some reason. We don't want the donor to have to go through and have to restart all over again, add their 30 or 40 gifts. Let's make sure we're doing it in smaller chunks so that we're not losing any information in case the card gets declined. So after we fill out all this information, I will click Show Total, and then it'll tell me how much I'm donating for. And then I can click Confirm Gift. Once I do that, a receipt from the Miami Foundation will immediately be sent to the donor for their gifts. And you don't want to send another receipt to these donors. They have already been officially receipted from the Miami Foundation. But definitely send them additional thank you messages, stewarding those donors. It doesn't just happen with that donation receipt. It happens with all those other communications you'll be sending them after. Now, let's say a donor says, you know, they call you up or they send you an email, say, hey, I should have gotten a receipt for Give Miami Day, but I didn't get one. You can actually send them right back to Give Miami Day. Right down here at the bottom of the page, let's scroll down a little bit. We have this Need Your Receipt section. And if I just put in my email address, I can click Resend. I never donated through Give Miami Day, so that's why I'm not going to have my email sent. But as soon as you click Resend, another email will be sent with those original donation receipt details. Donors can do this for themselves, or if donor calls you for a receipt, you can also resend it for them. So you can just, again, put their email address in and click Resend. Again, this is available all year round, not just on November 15th. It is currently available too. Now, there are two ways that an organization can actually search on Give Miami Day. We have category search, which I'm going to scroll up to right now, right up top here. So I can choose a category below to view a list of organizations. So let's say I want to look at animals. And this will pull up all organizations that chose animals as their category. I can also choose a subcategory, so maybe I want organizations that focus mainly on animal-assisted therapy. I can also choose ones that are just private matching funds. So I can just check that box, and now I know that Born Free Shelter has private matching funds. Great. We can also do a type ahead search. So up here in the upper right-hand corner, we can find an organization. I'm just going to put in Born Free, so I can pull up that same organization. So I put in Born Free, and I click on it. It takes me to their profile page. Great, and it even will show us their private matching funds, which is really, really good, we talked about earlier. So this profile page should look very similar to how your profile currently looks on our pre-event page, so our page is before November 15th. The main difference as I scroll down is that there's this great donation form here. This is a donation form just to your organization, so a donor can't give to other organizations through here. It's just for your organization. And it's the exact same form as the front page, so it's going to ask for the same exact information. And if you were to use that embed snippet, this is the form that will show up on your website, which would also include a Give Miami Day logo. As I mentioned before, all this information will show up on your donor report. Again, anonymous and first-time donor options, if it's in memory of, I'm a proud employee of, all those great questions, again, will show up on your donation report, except for those payment details, and except if I'm an anonymous donor, you won't get that contact information. Another thing I want to point out on your profile is on the top left, we have these leaderboard stats. So on the day of, this will actually count how many gifts and how much money you have raised as an organization, as well as the private matching funds remaining. So if I had raised $100, it would tell me that I had $9,900 remaining in my private matching funds. Again, this information here will line up with exactly what's on the leaderboards up top here. So the leaderboards are some of the most frequently visited page of all of our Giving Day sites. Donors love to come to this page to see where their favorite organizations stand among the others. It's a little bit of friendly competition, and they want to see where their nonprofits are. The results, again, update every 5 to 10 minutes, as I mentioned before. Again, your donation report updates in real time, so that will be a more accurate representation of where your organization is at any time. Our leaderboards update every 5 to 10 minutes. Right now, across all of the type of leaderboard types, organizations are filtered or sorted by name, by alphabetically. But as soon as organizations start receiving gifts on November 15th, it'll start sorting by total gifts. So if Fill a Bag had 100 gifts, they would be right at the top as long as everyone else had less. So again, most gifts to least gifts. Of course, donors can sort by organization name or by total gifts, least to most, and same with total dollars, most to least or least to most. Next leaderboard is the prize leaderboard. So as Miami Foundation and the Give Miami Day team, sorry about that, guys, starts awarding prizes to the organizations, they will start populating here so you can see which organizations won which prizes. Then we have small, medium, and large leaderboards, and these are built based on the annual operating budget you provided through Nonprofit Central. So small is under 250,000, medium 250,000 to 2 million, and large over 2 million. Again, that's going to be small, medium, and large. And last is a new addition from last year. We have our category-based leaderboards. So we're going to see how many gifts and how many dollars were raised by category. So, and again, sorting options available on all of the different leaderboards, just as it was on organizations, by total gifts, total dollars, or alphabetically. And the last part I want to point out too on Give Miami Day is this link up top here which says Give from Your Fund. So Give from Your Fund is the form that donors that have a donor advised fund through the Miami Foundation will be able to use to actually input how much money they'd like to give or allocate to a participating nonprofit. While the form is not currently live, it'll again go live right on November 15th at midnight. It's going to look just like the form on the main page, that multi-give form where I can give to multiple organizations. The main difference is that it won't ask for payment details because, again, they're giving through their donor-advised funds. Again, they can give to more than one organization at one time. So if a donor gives through this form, again, it'll show up on your donation report as a donor-advised fund or an offline gift. And again, it's going to show up right here under Form, Offline Form, and you'll have the fund name listed under column L. All right, and that really covers everything that I wanted to cover today for Give Miami Day and a preview of the live event. Of course, there are some other really great pages up here about for nonprofits, prize and match minutes, which I know Roshni will be going over shortly, and all that good stuff. But for now, that's everything that I had covered. I'm going to pass this back over to the Give Miami Day team.
Great, awesome. If you just don't mind going over the next few slides, we just have a few more slides that we want to cover, and then we'll open it up for questions. Now, we have gotten a lot of questions about this, about the prizes, when the prizes and match minutes will be posted. We're going to post both pools by the end of this week. So the prizes, for those of you who don't know, it's a $25,000 pool of money that we have that's available for all of you to take advantage of. We give about 20 prizes out throughout the course of the day, based on either how much you may raise in donations or in actual dollars in certain time frames, as well as we give prizes to random organizations based off of, if it's gotten the first gift, or in the past it's been the 19,670th gift. So we'll have the full list of that posted by the end of this week. That's around the same time we usually post it each year, so keep an eye out for that. Alex will also post in the Facebook group once those have been made live. The second thing we'll post by the end of this week is our match minutes. So we have sponsors that sponsor $15,000 for each match minute pool. If you have a donation that comes in that 60-second time period of the identified match minutes between $25 and $100, we match it until the $15,000 matching pool runs out. So last year we had 3 match minutes. The longest match minute, the pool lasted 18 seconds, and the shortest match minute, which is our 3 to 5 match minute last year, lasted 7 seconds. So again, keep an eye out for that. That's a great fodder for you to encourage your donors to give on those particular minutes. We've just seen a lot of boosts in giving during those times. All of those pieces of data will be posted on givemiamiday.org/prizes. And again, we'll post it in the Nonprofit Learning Exchange Facebook group. If you haven't yet joined that, go to givemiamiday.org/nonprofit-toolkit. At the bottom of the page, we dropped in the link where you can join our Facebook group. Please join it, and we can share all the information that we have with you. Will be posted there. I think we're ready for the next slide, Alyssa. Great. So the bonus pool. So we also got a lot of questions determined by the bonus pool, or about the bonus pool. We determine the bonus pool percentage after the event is over. So by the end of the event, we actually mean by the end of the year, you'll get a report with all the money that you'll receive via ACH transfer, as well as all of the prizes, matching it, everything else you received. The bonus pool is available for donors to give to throughout Give Miami Day, so that's why we say at the end of the event is when we'll have a better idea of what the bonus pool percentage is like. So if you're trying to use that information to communicate to your donors, last year the bonus percentage was 6.8%. Usually it's around that, So if you do have any questions about that, of course you can always ask us, but that's where we'll be. Okay, next slide. Okay, so we will now answer a few questions. The first one actually comes from Lutal, who's asking what to do with pledges that they've received. So some donors have given them information to input manually. Alex, would you like to answer that question?
Hi there. So pledges are the most effective way of getting donor information before Give Miami Day. So you don't have to depend on the donor to actually go on GiveMiamiDay.org or your profile. So in that case, you'll have your staff or volunteers, the organization staff or volunteers, process that information on the donor link on the credit card form, as well as other folks who are volunteering for your organization that day as well.
Okay, a couple other questions we've gotten have been related to the last day to edit their profiles. So as Alyssa said, everything needs to be done by midnight tonight. I would encourage you by the end of the workday to be done with any edits you may have to either your GiveMiamiDay.org profile or your Nonprofit Central profile. Today's last day. That includes random photos, videos, really anything you could think of has to be wrapped up today. Board members, I think staff members, I think people are trying to add it as well. The next question comes from Erica, who wants to know a little bit more about how anonymous donations work. So I know that Alyssa did address that. Actually, Alyssa, do you mind going back to the spreadsheet? So if you have an anonymous donor, they will show up in every factor to you as anonymous. So that means you're not going to have any information about them besides the money that they've given to you. Now that said, sometimes we have donors who will say like, oh, Logan's Pups, I gave you a $2,500 donation. Did you see it come in? Usually by process of elimination, that's when donors are able, or nonprofits are able to assess, okay, this donation came in from this donor, but in those cases, they may not mean to give anonymously. Now, that being said, all that information is available to us. So if you have a donor that says, I gave to you and I need my receipt, and you're having trouble helping them navigate that, you can always have them call us and we can send them their receipt directly. And again, I just want to reemphasize that our staff is available for 24 hours on Give Miami Day. If you call our main line, we'll be at our headquarters manning it. So if you have any donors who are having any issues, send them our way and we will help them. The next question is, we've got a few questions about whether or not this webinar will be recorded. Yes, we are recording it right now, and we will post it to the Nonprofit Toolkit either later today or tomorrow. We'll drop a note in the the Nonprofit Learning Exchange once we posted that video. If you want to access any of your links, this question is coming from Judith along with Patricia. I've asked how they actually access their links. Log into your Giving Day profile on givingday.kimbia.com. So Alyssa went through this, and Alex has also emailed you your links, but the best, most reliable place to access your links is logging in. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see this tab that says links. Alyssa just clicked on it, and from there, you've got a link to your profile page. Use that link to share it with your donors. The next link you have is your donations report. So that's a link that you should keep yourself amongst your organization. Don't make that link public, but that's the link that you can click on that as many times as you want throughout the 24 hours and after Give Miami Day, and it will show you real-time information about the donations you've received. And finally, the embed donation form snippet. So if you copy and paste all of that information that Alyssa is highlighting right now, you can embed your donation form into our website. So again, to re-emphasize what Alyssa just said, all you need to do is paste that information onto the back end of your website. We've got very clear directions on the nonprofit toolkit, so we would recommend only doing this if you have someone who's website savvy, who might be familiar with HTML code. But this form gives you the opportunity to direct people to your website to collect donations on Give Miami Day. So if they go to that website page on Give Miami Day, it'll turn into a live form at midnight once the event starts, and you can collect donations that way. The next question is about how to collect pledges. So if you have any questions about collecting pledges, I would highly recommend that you watch our trainings that we've already posted on the Nonprofit Toolkit, Give Miami Day 101, and our Give Miami Day communications training as well. If you do want to see samples of other nonprofits, we have a few nonprofits that have been very gracious to give us some samples that they're willing to share. Send us an email at info@miamifoundation.org. We'll gladly share samples with you so you can see what those look like. We recommend handing those out at events that you may have, or in advance getting donors to fill those out. So we're getting a lot of questions about private matching funds that people may not understand. So I think I'll just go ahead and tackle this question. So people are asking about how private matching funds work. So thank you, Alyssa, for navigating to that. When you log in, again, under your link, you'll see a tab that says matching funds. So if you have a donor who's saying, hey, nonprofit, if you raise $10,000 on Give Miami Day, I'll match that privately. Input that information here. Now, that does not collect the $10,000 on your behalf, but what it does is it shows other donors, oh, for every dollar I give on Give Miami Day to this nonprofit, another donor is matching that 1-for-1. So not only is your donation being matched 1-for-1, but you're also getting a bonus on that donation. So that's a great advantage for you, so you can show your donors, hey, I have someone who's willing to invest $10,000 in my nonprofit. And you can see here that it shows it on your profile, as Alyssa's pointing out for me. It says $10,000 of $10,000 remaining. As you raise money, then that number will go down to $9,000, $8,000, etc. Okay, I hope that answered that question. Again, let me just re-emphasize, if we're not answering your questions, Alex and Jalicia and the rest of our team is here, and we're happy to help answer any questions you have. So you can always email us at info@miamifoundation.org. Again, that's info, I-N as in Nancy, F as in Frank, O, at miamifoundation.org, and we are happy to answer any questions that you have. Even if you feel like your question might not be silly or something that we've already answered, please ask it, because we would rather have you have accurate information, have you feel confident going into this event, versus having you just feel confused or lost. We want to help you. We want to make this the best Give Miami Day possible. Okay, I think I know we have several other questions, but I also want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we'll just ask 2 or 3 more questions. So several people have dropped in questions about tax letters and if they need to send their donors tax letters. As Alyssa had mentioned, all of your donors will get an auto-generated receipt from info@miamifoundation.org that includes tax information. So you can use this report that Alyssa pulled up. Alyssa, if you don't mind navigating back to it, for Logan's Pub. You can use this report to thank your donors. You should not send them tax information because we're already taking care of that. Again, if they don't get it, have them call us. They can re-input it in that widget that Alyssa showed us on the live site. But if they're having trouble with that, have them shoot us or have them give us a call, and we will email that to them directly. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. Oh, yeah. Several people are asking when they will get their money. So as I mentioned earlier, we disperse all funds via ACH payment by December 31st. That's our commitment to you. So you're aware in-house, here at the Miami Foundation, not only are we making sure that the correct nonprofits receive the correct funds, but we're allocating bonus pool dollars, matchment dollars, and prizes. So that takes some time. As you can imagine, we have 758 participating nonprofits. It does take a lot of effort on our team's part, but we're committed to make sure that you have those funds by the end of the year. So by December 31st, our hope, of course, is that it's earlier than that, and you will get an email from Alex when we send out those disbursements with every detail that you could need. And then just to re-emphasize, because we've gotten this question, please make sure you send your donors to your GiveMiamiDay.org profile. If they go to Nonprofit Central, they will not be able to donate to you. In fact, at the bottom of that page, beginning next week, we're going to put language on the site that says, hey, if you're here to donate on Give Miami Day, go to GiveMiamiDay.org. So please make sure all of your communications have links for Give Miami Day and not Nonprofit Central. Again, you can find all those when you log in, the links tab on your left. But if you have trouble accessing that or aren't able to access that, please send us an email and we will make sure that you have the correct link. Okay, we are going to wrap up now. Again, thank you for joining us. We're here. We're happy to help you. Send any questions you have to info@miamifoundation.org and or give us a call. Our main line is 305-371-2711. We are going to do everything we can to make sure you have a successful Give Miami Day, and we're happy to help you do the same. So any questions, big or small, our team is happy to help. Thank you, and thank you, Alyssa. Thanks for all the great information.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Okay, have a great day.